Chapter 5: The Enigma of the Star Map. After discovering Captain Roque's treasure in the secret garden behind the ancient gate, Beto, Anna and Ollie found themselves in an exciting dilemma. The treasure chest was filled with gold coins, sparkling jewels, and the letter written by Captain Roque, but the original treasure map still had unsolved clues. They knew that their adventure was not over. As they examined the map, they noticed an interesting detail. There was a set of stars drawn in the corner of the parchment, along with a date, the next night of the full moon. It seemed like they had to wait until then to continue their search. But Anna, Beto, and Ollie were eager to unravel the mystery and couldn't wait until the next full moon night. That same afternoon, they decided to investigate the drawn stars further. They followed them on the scroll and noticed that they formed a specific constellation, the constellation of the Seeker. Looking for more clues, they headed to the local observatory, where they knew they could learn more about the stars and constellations. The kind astronomer at the observatory helped them identify the constellation and told them an ancient legend that was related to it. The legend told of an ancient explorer who had traveled around the world in search of lost treasures and exciting adventures. He was said to have left hidden clues in the night sky to guide future adventurers to special places. Encouraged by this new information, Anna, Beto and Ollie returned to the park at dusk. They looked at the starry sky in amazement and saw the Seeker constellation shining brightly. As they watched, they noticed that the stars of the constellation formed an arrow that pointed directly towards the park where they had been before. "Look!" Anna exclaimed excitedly. "The Seeker constellation points to the center of the park. It must be a sign for us to return there." Beto and Ollie nodded, impressed by the ingenious way they had discovered the new clue. They went to the center of the park, where a huge ancient tree stood, and they noticed that on the plaque that described it was written, "I have lived in these lands for thousands of years, hundreds of travelers have visited me, but no one listens to my words." Ollie looked behind the plaque and found a small hidden scroll. Enigma 5, First, the Secret of the Star Arrow. The scroll had a riddle that said, "Where the Seeker points with his arrow, you will find your next step in this quest. In the place we observe from here, a right angle must be formed." The friends looked around, trying to understand the enigma. They looked around the park and at the stars, but couldn't figure out the next step. However, his gaze fell on a nearby lighthouse looming in the distance. They realized that the arrow of the Seeker constellation was pointing directly towards that lighthouse. Confidently, they headed towards it, excited to discover what the next clue held for them. As they approached the lighthouse, Anna exclaimed, "Look, there's a star formation over there that looks like the picture on the map." The pattern of the stars resembled a set of 3 stars that formed a triangle with a star in the center. They decided to follow the stars in the sky until they were directly below them, very close to the lighthouse. When they reached that point, they began searching the ground and finally found a stone protruding slightly from the ground. Ollie carefully lifted it, and under the stone, they found another scroll. This time, the scroll was covered in astrological symbols and constellations. It seemed to be a star map. There were also a series of puzzles that they had to solve to advance. Enigma 5, Second, the Riddle of the Star Map. The star map had 3 puzzles that they had to solve to discover the next location. 1. Under the Guardian of the Night, where the Pleiades hide, they will find their first clue. Where should they go? 2. In the constellation of the Hunter, look for the brightest star. What number does it represent? 3. On Captain Roque's treasure map, the answer is in the same city. What street is Don Manuel's antique store on? The 3 friends got to work, observing the starry sky and using their ingenuity to solve the puzzles. Soon, they had the answers and headed towards the next location indicated on the star map. As they continued their search, excitement grew in their hearts. They knew that they were closer than ever to unraveling the mystery of Captain Roque's treasure, and that each challenge they faced brought them one step closer to their goal. End of Chapter 5.